In today's video, guys, I'm gonna show you the #1 method on how you can farm arena medals fast and max your great haul as soon as possible. So you're gonna get to have all this shiny great haul. You're gonna need to wear sunglasses when you are looking at it because it's gonna be all golden. Basically, this is not very efficient for the very end game, for the very high-end arena anymore, because you're gonna meet a lot of reaction, you're gonna meet a lot of stone skin. But for the rest of you guys that are still looking to progress through arena and to get the great haul done as fast as possible, this will be one of your best options. And it's all about being efficient with the time, farming the arena fights as fast as possible. And on top of it, when you have tournaments like we have right now, for example, the classic arena takedown, you want to max this as fast as possible. And right now they actually added 6-star relentless to it, or at least for the last couple of them if I'm not mistaken. So being able to jump in here and cash in on a 6-star relentless gear just because you are winning more fights, you are being more efficient, and yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's one of the best things that free-to-play players can do, is to try to win the arena tournaments, right? Because hey, free relentless is free relentless. If no, it's pretty hard for the majority of you guys to get it, you know. And I'm gonna show you a couple of different teams. Now we're gonna talk first about the blender, then we're gonna talk about a different team where if you are not able to win the speed race, you're gonna be able to win it with the cardinal team. So I'm currently in high gold, okay? So it's gonna be a bit more difficult for me to show you what I wanna show you. I can guarantee you that I will be encountering a lot of stone skin on these teams, but that's fine. If we're losing a couple of fights, it's not a problem. Now, as every other team in the game, you have counters to it, right? If you're going against teams with Tormin, it's not the best idea because you have a very high chance to get frozen. If you're going against teams with Vogot, again, it can be an issue because he's healing the rest of the team, right? So you might not be able to kill it, but we're gonna attempt to fight that as well, because hey, why not? And yeah, stone skin, how I mentioned, is going to be a bit of an issue. But for example, let's try to go against this team. So I'm using Arbiter, I'm using Farakin the Fat Man. I like to have a champion that gives me increased crit rate or increased crit damage, or it gives me something as well while I'm doing the ally attack. There are not that many champions in the game that do it. Like we have him, we have a Cardiel, which is a beast of a champion. But honestly, this allows you to build your champions a bit stronger. Like you can focus on more attack because you're gaining more crit rate from the ally attack champion. So I'm going to show you a few different variations of the blender, guys. You can definitely make them with different champions that have AoE attacks. Right here, you see, if you don't have Arbiter, you might have a Gorgorab. You might have a Bigan, for example. If you don't have a Skullcrown, or if you don't have a Sinesha, you might have a Ray. And there are plenty of different champions that have a AoE A1s. Now, they do need to deal some damage with it, to have some multipliers. There is no question whatsoever, the #1 couple for the blender comps is Skullcrown and Sinesha, and that's mainly because of their kit. So if we're quickly paying attention right here, you're gonna see that the A1 attacks all enemies, places an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. Then you have Sinesha right here, attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies with less than 50% HP after the first hit. So basically they kind of like complement each other. And when we are talking about ally attack, counter attack, it's not about the speed order on your champions. It's all about the order of how they are positioned in the team. So you see we have Arbiter position 1, we have Farakin position 2, we have Skullcrown position 3, and then we have Sinesha position 4. And like this, Skullcrown is gonna go to attack before Sinesha. So basically her A1 is gonna get activated properly and put the extra hit, you know. And then Sinesha is gonna come in and do the exact same thing. I'm curious if that Helicat is on stone skin or no, but I guess we're gonna find out. They're not on stone skin, so they're dead meat. Look at that. Bang. 2 seconds. That's how you farm arena medals. This is the fastest way, basically. Unless you have a couple of nuke hegemons, you know, that's a good option too. But hey, who has a lot of nuke hegemons nowadays? Like you can go in here, for example, and just bring in a hegemon, or a couple of hegemons if you have that, and just let them just go in ham. And you see this is a 1 second, but this is not something that a lot of people do nowadays, and mainly because of reaction, stone skin, at least for the high-end arena. How I mentioned, if you're making your way through gold 3, gold 4, and you are in gold 5, but not so high. If you get so high, you're honestly gonna struggle with the teams, because you see we have quite a few strong opponents around, and the main idea here is that you're gonna keep a different defense. You might keep a one-man defense or something, so that's every day gonna drop you back down. You're gonna get to climb every day, so that's the most ideal way to do it if you want to farm medals. So just drop all your fancy defense from here, keep a one-man champion in here, doesn't matter who, so you get attacked, you derank. I think the limit on losses right now, if I'm not mistaken, correct me on this, is 20 or 25 fights, or maybe it's 15. So basically, you're gonna lose 15 fights, or 20 or 25, one of these three numbers I can't remember because they changed it so many times. And after, none of the losses that you will get during the day will count again for you. So you won't be losing more points than those fights. So as long as you are complementing the losses with 15 wins, you're gonna be pretty much at the same spot every single day. So it resets every day with a daily reset. That's a thing that a lot of you guys might not know anymore, because it got changed around a year ago. So it's been a while since that happened. So hopefully this video will provide you with some new information. If we're gonna look to find a different team, let's see if we drop a refresh right here. I feel like we just had one team right there and I kind of like ignored it for whatever reason, you know. I didn't paid that much attention to be spot on. There we go. We have this team with Duchess. Let's go against this. So we're going to change it a bit up. We're going to go with Big Ann and Ray. I'm just hoping that I have gear on Ray, because I just tend to don't have gear on my champions usually. I do. Okay, nice. She doesn't have crazy build, but hey. And her A1 has pretty weak sauce multipliers, honestly. I've done a video on Eric's the other day, actually. She might be a pretty good example too. Because she does have AoE attack, she doesn't benefit from having increased attack. So if you don't have Arbiter just yet, you might have some AoE champions on their basic skill that deal decent damage. You have an ally attack, you might have a Gorgorab, right? Gorgorab should be able to do the job just fine as well. He has a speed aura, increased attack, boost meter. The main thing that is a bit different with him is that he's pretty low on the base speed, right? He doesn't have a... He's not very fast, let me just put it like that, you know. So that can be pretty painful. But there we go. Seems like we got this done, and we got a victory too. Either though all my team died because of those bombs from Gaius, but we got a victory in. And yeah, this is a fairly good example. If you don't have Gorgorab, you don't have Arbiter, and again, you're still progressing through the game as an idea, you can definitely use this champion. And this kind of like works if you have a Skull Crown. So if you're going with this, for example, so a lot of people don't know that old Hermit Jorg actually gives increased attack with the A2 and boosts the turn meter on all allies by 20%. Now, he doesn't bring you a speed aura for Arena, so that's not going to be as beneficial. And then he does have a revive as well, which is great, you know. And all these champions, guys, like Gorgorab. Gorgorab used to be the Arbiter in Raid 4 years ago, because we had no Arbiter and everybody was running Skull Crown Gorgorab Skull Crown, and the starter champions used to be the main nukers. So this could be a good example. If we're gonna do one more round with the Blender comp, just because it's so enjoyable to see how fast you're actually melting them. You see, we already encountered Stone Skin, and unfortunately that Molly survived, but that's fine. We got her down. We do have the bombs right here on most of my team. My Skull Crown is gonna survive anyway, so even if those bombs was exploding, I was gonna have unkillable on Skull Crown, so we were gonna be just fine. Now let's just say you're not able to win the speed race, right? You're not able to win the speed race, and that's gonna be an issue for you. So then, if you still wanna farm it fast, you can always bring in a team like this one right here. So you have all the damage that you need. Now I'm gonna show you another trick. This guy right here has Lydia, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in a Brachus. And basically I showcased this team many times before. I've done dedicated videos to showcase you the comp with Cardinal and how you should use it, and why everybody should have one team like this for Tag Team Arena. Even now, a lot of people are trying to use Cardinal team in top Platinum Arena together with Ramantu and different champions like this. And I'm talking about during Platinum Reset. And I'm talking about the current meta with Marichka and Taras. So the Cardinal comp is something solid. This is not a joke, okay? This is just no joke. So basically, I don't have a preset for this team, but you know what? I'm actually gonna let it go. So they're gonna do their shenanigans. Bang, they killed all my team. Now, she broke the revive, but you know what happens? Brackus has his own passive, we're getting that, and boom! 13 seconds, we're winning the fights where we were not able to win the speed race before with my blender comp, for example. But that being said, let me quickly show you some of the stats that I have on the champion so you guys get a bit of an idea of what's happening. So let's start with the blender comp, guys. This is my Gorgorap. He's at around 320 speed. Now, I know a lot of you guys won't be able to achieve very high speeds, which is fine. You're gonna have to kind of like gamble with the teams that you're fighting, be a bit more selective. Don't engage with all the crazy teams that you're seeing out there because they might outspeed you. Then you might wanna go to the Cardinal team instead, you know, and kind of like do it in that way. But as an idea, that's what I have on Gorgorab, you know. And Gorgorab is a solid champion, man. Like with the A1, has a chance to remove a random buff. You have the full revive on all the team, the healing on it, and this will heal even if it doesn't need to revive, which is decent and is bad sometimes, you know. 23% speed aura, 15% turn meter, increase attack. So you see, old Hermit Jorg is actually better because you're getting 20% turn meter, which is actually much, much better. Masteries, I don't have War Master on him because I'm not really using the champion in many places, but Timely Intervention is a good tier 6 mastery on him. Is literally right behind my back, and you can use the champion in Faction Wars, for example. You know, it's pretty solid. Then we have Ray. So my Ray is definitely on a very average build. She's built on Savage, a speed set. I'm only using her in Faction Wars, nowhere else. And total stats, 5.5k attack, 183 speed, full crit rate, 235 crit damage. Now, the good thing is, if you are using champions like this, let's just say you're not going to manage to kill the team with a blender directly, you know, and you're going to need to take a turn after to use the skills on your damage dealers. Keep in mind, Arbiter is using the attack, right? The increased attack, the turn meter, or whatever champion you're using. The ally attack champion is using the skill, and most probably you're either going to kill the team, either you're going to leave a couple alive, but what you need to understand is that your nukers didn't actually took a turn yet. So they're gonna go right after it and be able to clean up the mess in case if that happens. You know, that's the fun part about using a blender comp. Helm Smasher as tier 6. You have the support here just for a bit of extra accuracy. Very typical masteries for a nuker. Big gun as well on very standard build. Savage accuracy, and we have 5.3k attack. We have 200 speed, full crit rate, 241 crit damage, a bit of accuracy. I am using him in Faction Wars, and he's pretty great because attacks one enemy, attacks all enemies after if the first attack is critical. So you want to ensure you're targeting champions that are not force affinity. So he's gonna get that crit on, you know. And then he has all the other skills, AoEs, decrease speed, stun, decrease accuracy. Such a monster of a champion. Like, he was such a big carry on my account. Sinesha, built on a stun, again built for Faction Wars, for secret rooms in the Doom Tower. She's not very fast either, 179 speed. I don't have full crit rate, how I mentioned. If you're taking in a champion like Cardiel, a champion like Ferrokin, the fact that buffs with crit rate, crit damage, not only that they will improve your damage, but you're going to be able to build your champions with less crit rate and prioritize that on something else. Now, this if you're only building your champions for that, or your gear might not be strong enough to get it done, you know. And 3.9k attack on her. We have Helm Smasher as tier 6, not Fearsome Presence, because I think I was lacking damage on what I was doing. Then I have Ferrokin. He's at 306 speed, so he has some of my best speed gear that I have on the account, and I haven't prioritized nothing else but speed. You just want to have as much speed as possible to ensure that after your turn meter booster increases the attack and the turn meter, the enemy won't cut on him, so he's gonna go straight after and bring that victory home. Then we have Skull Crown. She's on a stun set and perception. She does have a very nice build though, considering that she's on a stun set. She does have a +4 awakening, which gives her extra stats, so that helps quite a bit. But basically we have 6.5k attack, 195 speed, 100 crit rate, 260 crit damage, you see. The Blessing gives me 400 attack, 20 crit damage. That's massive. Then you have the Faction Guardians, which help a bit too. And Masteries, Helm Smasher, and we have Counter Attack. She's one of the best epic nukers in the entire game. I know she kind of like dropped it down a bit because we got Gambo and other champions like that, but she's still a vanilla champion that's very, very strong, you know, like she's doing the job. She's doing the job. And then Cardinal. Basically, you want to have Stone Skin. Either 1-turn Stone Skin and you make her slower to ensure that all the enemies will take their turn and they will kill your team before she takes a turn, or you put her on a 2-turn Stone Skin and just go with it if you have it available. If you don't have it just yet, farm a bit of Hydra, guys. It doesn't matter if it's a rare piece or whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a flat stat on what she has on gloves, chest. She doesn't need to be very tanky. She's gonna survive anyway, as long as she has some decent accessories basically to keep her on. And you see she's not fast. 66k HP, 4k defense, 191 speed, you know. You can make her faster, slower, sorry. I wouldn't make her faster. And then we have Alika, one of my favorite epic champions as a DPS. She just brings so much damage, lethal and crit damage. She has a nice build too. 5.7k attack, 190 speed, full crit rate, 268 crit damage. We have a bit of accuracy, and I'll show you why. Because she does increases the duration of cooldowns of all enemy skills by 2 turns with this, which is nice. And this skill on a 2-turn cooldown, so much damage. You cannot use her in the Blender comp, but you can use her in the Cardinal comp, you know. And basically, Brackus is built on Fury Set. This was a clan boss build that I've done ages ago. The whole idea with him is that he's having this passive that revives him, okay? And like this, you can counter Lydia's, because your team is gonna die except Cardinal. Lydia is gonna proc the passive to block the revive on Brackus. Then Cardinal can come in and just revive the rest of them and bring them back into the fight. And like this, guys, you're gonna be able to put your hands on medals very, very fast. Now, of course, you're gonna have to play the game. You're gonna have to use refills in order to do it, but you're gonna be able to farm arena pretty fast, very efficient if you are building your teams right. Hopefully this video was helpful, informative. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.